Hello and welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner session presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So during today's session, we will be covering live market analysis. We will be going through a watch list of trading opportunities, a forecast of where we expect gold, silver, and also oil to be heading next, answering questions, and of course, we will be providing live support. So any questions or contributions, feel free to put those into the chat section. Let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading. As internationally respected experts, our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agriculture markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. Of course, it's a pleasure to be here on binary.com as well. Our team of experts has trained and mentored thousands of traders from all over the world to invest in the financial markets with confidence using our exclusive strategies. For more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do visit www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, guys, so we'll put you into the driving seat here. We'll really talk you through what has been occurring in the markets over the course of this week. We've seen some big moves at the moment. Gold has today, in fact, silver as well, broken out to 2-month highs. We've seen quite a significant surge over the course of this week, which I'll break down for you as we go into the gold markets very shortly. Essentially, the biggest movers of today have been silver, which is up 1.3% at the moment. Gold, which is currently up just over 0.5% right now. Gold is up over 12% so far in 2017. Australian dollar, US dollar has also gained some momentum to the upside off the back of weakness in the US dollar today. Oil is a bit mixed today. It's been ebbing and flowing between some major support zones, so $50 per barrel for Brent crude oil, $47 per barrel for WTI crude oil. The euro is fairly unchanged today. The pound is fairly unchanged. The dollar has definitely had quite a large sell-off over the last 24 hours. The US dollar, Canadian dollar has had quite a big move actually. The CAD has gained strength, and that's caused US dollar, Canadian dollar to break down off the back of the CPI data, which came out approximately 30 minutes ago, which is stronger than expected. And the Japanese yen versus the US dollar, we've seen quite a significant move. So Japanese yen futures have been up, getting the safe haven bid, and we've seen US dollar, Japanese yen, and a number of other cross pairs sell off. So there's been some really great trading opportunities over the course of this week. It's traditionally a time when a lot of traders are away, a lot of traders are on holiday, but the markets tend to move still a lot in August. Being a commodity trader and having traded these markets for a number of years now, often you do get a lot of volatility over the months of August, and particularly when a lot of traders are away, it can create even more movement in the markets, as we've seen over the last 24 hours with 1.5% moves to the downside with, for example, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the biggest move since May. We've seen gold breaking out to 2-month highs. Palladium has broken out to the highest level in 15 years, and I've seen this happen a lot. Over the month of August, we can get quite a lot of volatility, so there's still a lot of trading opportunities. So you can even be trading, of course, on your holidays. You can be trading from a laptop or a mobile, wherever you've really got an internet connection, but don't think just because it's August that there aren't trading opportunities, because there definitely are. So we've just had the core CPI data come out, which has provided strength for the Canadian the dollar, and we've seen US dollar, Canadian dollar have quite a significant sell-off, which we've actually been in this trade, so we're actually still in the trade, which has sold off quite significantly, so that's worked out well. Gold at the moment, it's so close to 1,300. It's trading at 1,297 US dollars per ounce at the moment. It's on the verge of breaking out. In fact, it might actually do so whilst I'm on this session today as we're getting into the US Open this afternoon. And we've got positions on gold right now. Silver looks like it's on the verge of breaking out, and US dollar has sold off significantly. And we've got 3 o'clock London time, Michigan consumer expectations coming up, FOMC member Kaplan speaking as well, and the US Baker Hughes oil recount, which will affect oil too. So with that, I'll move over to my charts very shortly. I'll just talk you through the type of trade that we'll be looking at today. When we talk through our trade ideas, these are the sort of trades that we execute on the binary.com platform. So we use higher or lower or rise and fall type of trades. Very simply, what we take advantage of is the momentum of the market. When we get into a trade, whether it's a quicker trade in half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, if we're in and out relatively quickly, we want to get on the back of momentum. We've got momentum today with gold at the moment, momentum to the downside with US dollar, Canadian dollar at the moment as well. And essentially, we want to take advantage of that momentum. We want to be in the direction of the momentum, and we want the price to be going higher, to close higher than our entry over the given duration. If we go lower, we want the price to close lower over the given duration as well. And that's essentially the way that we utilize this as a tool for our trading. And it's all very straightforward. So you can put in, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, you put in your start time, you put in the duration, so whether that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hours or a day or a week, depending on what you favor for your trades. We like to take advantage of normally faster, quicker trades. So we're normally in and out within a couple of hours with a lot of our positions taking advantage of momentum. When we use binary.com, particularly if you're trading news items as well, can be very good, like FOMC statements, like we had on Wednesday. The minutes of the FOMC provided some good volatility and trade opportunities on gold, certainly US dollar, Japanese yen as well, silver too. So we look at these types of trades, and then essentially when you're executing a position, you also want to be aware of your risk on the trade. So that is here. So it's all very transparent. So when you put in your payout, whether that could be £5, could be £50, could be £500 or 5,000, depending on the size of your portfolio and how much you are comfortable risking on the trade. So it's all upfront. So you know what your risk is, you know what your deposit is, you know what your payout is as well. So you've got 5,000, for example, here. The stake on the trade for a £5,000 payout is £2,843 and 26 pence. So if I win the trade, I win 5,000. Essentially, the payout that I will receive is 5,000. The deposit on the trade is £2,843.26. So the stake on the trade, if the trade loses, I would lose that stake on the position. And it's the same with the price to be lower. So if I'm looking for the price to be lower in this example here, payout I'm looking for is 5,000. The stake on the trade is £2,853.01. And if I go for the price to be lower over a given duration, 1 hour, 2 hours, and so forth, if I win the trade and the price closes lower than my entry, I win 5,000. The payout is 5,000. If I lose the trade, I lose the stake on the position. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense and it's all very clear. If not, let me know in the chat and I can go through that again. Right, it is just about on the verge, gold, of breaking 1,300. So this is a perfect time, guys. I've been waiting for gold to potentially breach 1,300 for most of this week because we've had positions on this market. So it looks like it's going to do it live, real time. So let me quickly share my screens whilst we're on the session. Okay, let me bring up these screens and here we go. Let's get gold. Let's see if we can catch gold. 1,299. Let's see if gold can break 1,300 live on today's session. Okay, we're at $1,299.43. Sorry if I sound a bit excited, guys. I've been watching gold all day long. And we've got long positions on gold right now, so it looks like it's about to do it. 1,299.88. Let's see. The momentum is there, you see. So with a trade like this for a shorter term move, and silver is breaking out at the moment as well. Let's just track this, the high today. It's getting close, isn't it? 1,299.92. I'll move on and do some additional analysis. There we go, 1,300. It's been done. Okay, so gold has done it. It's hit 1,300 US dollars per ounce. So this has been a potential move, which has been, you can see here, just in the, let me just put that on the chart for you, okay, guys? You can see that it's just about hit 1,300. So it's been important for gold to hit that level. It's broken above the 2-month highs. If I zoom out on the chart a little bit further for you here, we can see where we've broken above some major resistance here. It was the 3rd test of that level. We had, actually the 4th test of that level. We had a previous test of around 1,300 US dollars per ounce going back about a week ago of geopolitical tension when things really heated up between the US and North Korea. And we've been looking for the potential for gold to break out further today. Now, one of the reasons for that has been the minutes of the FOMC statement, which came out on Wednesday. And the minutes from the FOMC statement essentially were much more on the dovish side, where they hinted that they weren't in such a strong position, the Federal Reserve, to go ahead and increase interest rates as imminently as they had previously suggested. And with that, overall, it was a much less hawkish tone to the minutes of the FOMC statement. That caused the US dollar to sell off. Gold and silver broke out off the back of that. Gold has also shined this week off further geopolitical worries weighing on riskier assets. We saw the S&P 500 break down 1.5% yesterday. The Dow Jones broke down 1.5%. Gold is on track for a 2nd consecutive weekly gain as political uncertainty in the United States and the suspected terrorist attacks, I'm sure a lot of you are aware now, in Spain boosted gold safe haven appeal. Markets were also uncertain about US President Donald Trump's ability to push ahead with policies after the disbandment of two high-profile business advisory councils after his remarks on violence in Virginia. So that also sparked more selling in the US dollar, more strength in gold and silver. We've seen selling in the stock markets as well. And overall, there's a lot going on. There's been a lot going on, even to the close yesterday, right up until the US close yesterday. There was a lot happening. And the way I like to view the markets when there is a lot going on like this, just to get a sense of geopolitical risk, safe haven moves, is one of the profiles I like to utilize anyway. And let me see if I can bring this out for you a little bit more detail so you can actually see more. It opens up the chart a little bit more for you. Okay, so yeah, gold is really on track now to potentially burst through 1,300. There we go, 1,300. It's nice timing that it's done that right now, right on the session. So that's good. So that's quite a important moment there. $1,300 per ounce breached for gold. So let's have a look at this setup right now. So we've got Japanese yen futures on the right. So Japanese yen, which I've got here, Japanese yen tends to rally on safe haven, okay? So it will tend to move the same as gold, and it's getting a bid at the moment. Japanese yen is very close actually to taking out the highs here, so it's very close to taking out the swing high. It tends to move in the same way as gold. It's V-shaped reversal pattern. It's snap back in price. How can you trade that? Well, essentially, you can either trade gold or sell US dollar Japanese yen. The US dollar Japanese yen will move inversely to the move on the Japanese yen futures. So if Japanese yen futures are going up, US dollar Japanese yen goes down. So that's a trade opportunity. So where you see safe haven bid, you can look at that. If you've missed out on a gold buy position, you can always look at a potential to sell into US dollar Japanese yen as well. So let me just bring you back to my main screens again. So going back to that, we've also seen over the course of this week, volatility has increased quite significantly. And with that, we've seen a breakdown here of the S&P 500. So this move on the S&P 500 is quite important. Just excuse the background noise. Okay, so this move on the S&P 500 is quite important if we hold below this level today and we hold back below the 50-day moving average. Most of 2017, every move and close below the 50-day moving average, which I'll make a little bit more apparent to you, has been short-lived and it's got a bid back. But today could start to see a turning point in the markets. We've got quite a lot happening as we go into the weekend, as we go into the US session today, which would suggest that possibly today might be the start of a more significant corrective move on equities here. Now, it's had a reasonably large sell-off yesterday, so I'll be more inclined to suggest pullbacks back towards the 50-day moving average, which then hold below that level would actually be a better selling opportunity on the S&P. Maybe it will retrace a little bit today, but if it can break, if we get a break on the S&P 500, below yesterday's low and the low of today as well, taking out the monthly pivot, we could really start to pick up momentum to the downside. So this is quite significant. Again, mid-August is typically when you can see these big moves. The reason I say that, if you go back on the S&P 500 and you look at one of these huge moves that occurred here, going back to, this was back in 2 years ago, August of 2015, this huge move that occurred in mid-August, okay? And what are we on today? The 18th of August. This huge move was on the 24th. Let's have a look. That was going back to the 20th and the 21st and also the 24th. So it was really like Black Monday. And I wouldn't rule that out happening next week as well. There's just a lot of confluencing events, all which are starting to line up to potentially happen next week. So there's a lot to keep on the radar. And this happened a couple of years back. It was mid-August where we saw this huge monumental move lower in the S&P 500. Now, I don't want to scaremonger, but if there's opportunities in the market that you can take advantage of, have it on your radar, because you can look at that as the potential for a momentum trade for a sell short on the S&P 500 via the US indices on BOM, on binary.com, and you can take advantage of the potential for a more significant move lower. Okay, but ideally I'd like it to retrace on the S&P, then look for a sell-off. We've also got similar moves on some of the other equities as well, like the DAX, for example. I'll have a look at that with you shortly too. The US dollar index it got a bit of a bid yesterday, but nothing really severe to the upside, and we've seen it just correct a little bit at the moment. We've seen it correct so far today. If we have a look at also, I think that's it in terms of those main markets I wanted to show you on this profile, and I'll move over and we can just have a look at oil and some of the other markets as well. Let's just check the highs here that we've reached on gold, 1,300 and 5.57 so far. Okay, good. So they're moving over. So we've got US dollar Japanese yen on the left, which we expect it to sell off. in contrast to gold breaking out at the moment as well. We've got the US stock markets, which are breaking down at the moment, and we're also seeing Japanese yen futures get a bid, and of course, we've got the US dollar index, and we're only really getting started in the US session at the moment. So we'll see how much further this momentum to the upside on gold continues to last. So it's so far had some significant moves. The next major level I'm looking at here for gold is around 1,303, okay? So with that, I'll now move over to some of the other markets which are worth keeping on the radar at the moment. We do have a sell position on US dollar, Canadian dollar at the moment, and that's just had a more significant breakdown off the back of data which has just come out over the course of this afternoon, the CPI numbers. The momentum is really on the side of the bears right now. We've got quite a significant move off the back of Wednesday's minutes from the FOMC statement, broke down, triggered us for a sell, retraced yesterday, gave another opportunity to reload on the position, and then today it's rolled over and broke back down again as well. So technically this is looking like a good market to look for sell short opportunities on any retracements. It's starting to move back within this major downward trending channel. So I like US dollar, Canadian dollar here for more downside in the days to come. Possibly will even break down even more significantly today. If you're looking for a trade idea, I would look at the potential on the hourly here for US dollar, Canadian dollar to break down a little bit further over the next half an hour and 1 hour time frames. So if we have a look at US dollar CAD, I'd look at the 30-minute chart. If we break below the low of the 30-minute here, we could just see a little bit more momentum this afternoon. Overall, it's definitely picking a direction. Looks like a trend change back within this predominant downward trend. Looks like a bear flag set up. It retraced to the levels that we were looking for, so it had a 2-week corrective move here on US dollar CAD, and now it's getting going to the downside again. And you can capitalize on that via sell short opportunities on this market. So US dollar, Canadian dollar is starting to pick some momentum to the downside. Australian dollar, US dollar, I've been looking at this for a buy as well. It's been a bit choppy over the last 24 hours. I don't have a position on this at the moment, but I am looking for the potential. You can see it broke out of a bull flag yesterday, pulled back into the close. It's getting a bid back up again today. I'm in the gold position already long to a certain degree. I prefer that. It's getting more momentum at the moment, unless Australian dollar, US dollar can hold on to these levels. But overall, it's in an upward trend. It's a bull flag formation. If the US dollar continues to weaken, we should see Australian dollar get a bid. And if gold continues to follow through today, we should see a little bit more movement to the upside as well. So might be worth just having on the radar there as well. Now, moving over, we can have a look at silver as well. So gold's just popped above 1,300. Silver, this is the monthly chart for silver, and it's really important to be aware of this because this could be lining up for a much more significant move on higher time frames. So this is the monthly chart. All of my candles here are monthly, okay? This goes all the way back to 2005, and you can see we've been in a downward trend here. I can actually extend that downward trend going back to 2011, and we've got a major pennant formation here, which is where the price gets tighter and tighter. We're on the verge. We are actually breaking out now from this monthly channel after we had a corrected pullback over the month of July, quite significant, where we saw a big shakeout, a tree shake for the silver market, but it got well supported below $15, and now it's trading at $17.29 per ounce. And it's almost starting to set up geopolitically and also politically in the US for a perfect storm for the safe haven. So we're definitely seeing gold and silver get a bid here. Gold above 1,300, that will start to hit news items this afternoon because it hasn't done that for quite a while. Certainly in the last couple of months or so, it's been knocking against 1296 around that zone, but hasn't managed to breach 1,300, so that's significant. Silver here is obviously getting a bid at the moment. If we go over to the daily chart, you can see here where silver's building a base right now. It's been held by this major underlying support channel. It's just about broken above the 2-month highs here. So silver on a momentum trade is not bad to look at as well. If we continue to see US dollar weakness today, we should see gold and silver continue to ramp up and break out higher, and we can take advantage of that for some additional follow through. So silver is looking good right now for more upside, but monthly time frames have really got me interested because potentially we are on the verge of a much larger move. Now, there's a little bit more confirmation needed because we've still got a couple of weeks left over the month of August. So I would still await for further confirmation, but certainly on the monthly, be aware of that. If you trade silver regularly, silver's really good for trading on binary because silver's quite erratic as a market. So if you can just be in and out on lower time frames, just within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hour time frames, catching momentum, you can make profits pretty quickly on binary by trading gold and silver with the overall momentum of the market, rather than having to stay in long positions, longer term positions, because very suddenly silver can pull back. It pulled back quite significantly actually on Monday, I think it was it Monday? Yeah, it was, no, Tuesday, excuse me. Tuesday, we got this pullback to the downside, 2% drop in one day. So quite significant volatility on that, but it's great to trade the momentum with as well. So just have silver on your radar. See if we can dig a little bit deeper into gold as well. Gold's really up and running at the moment. It's struggling a little bit around 1300, nothing major, but it's pulling back a little bit just from a break to that zone. It will start to get a little bit overbought soon, so around the 1300 level, but that can change on geopolitical tension as well. So far, the highs there, yeah, 1,300.85 at the moment for gold. So we'd like to see if we can just follow through a little bit further and come back up to the upper end of this trend channel. I have about 1303 level above here as the next major level of resistance, but it might back and fill a little bit around this level. So we'll see if we just get additional momentum. But I would suggest that's the upper end of this channel at the moment. If it really full on catches fire today, I'd look at then 1315 above, and then the monthly zones are at 1350 as well. But this is the trend channel it's been sitting in so far over the last week or so. So we've seen a breakout, but major resistance there. I think this is actually, it's not just the 2-month highs now. We're actually at the highest point since the US election last year. So that was the November level. So this is actually gold breaking out now to the highest level in 10 months. So yeah, it's an important day for gold here. And you can see we are getting towards the upper end of these channels at the moment, but we could still have further momentum to the upside if we do start to see things really start to pick up momentum from the geopolitical front. We've got some data also coming out this afternoon, US data, which is coming out at 3 o'clock London time. So that could also have an impact here as well. So we might see some profit taking around that zone. So I would just keep an eye out for that too. Okay, good. So with that, I'll also just move you over to oil, because oil right now is backing and filling around some key levels at the moment. So oil, we've had sell positions on this week, which we've closed. We've been looking for the next real big move here. Now, what you'll find on oil right now is there's been some conflict over the course of this week in terms of fundamentals. We've seen oil inventories have fallen, but there's been rise, but we have seen still rising output. So from Wednesday's oil inventories, they showed us that overall there was a drawdown in the oil inventories data. But we've also had some additional figures regarding the gasoline inventories as well, and the distillates and the Cushing inventories, which all came in with oversupply. And overall, it was a bearish picture over the course of Wednesday's session. It broke back down, but it's not really closing with Brent crude oil. It's not closing below $50 per barrel on a closing basis, and US oil is not closing below 47, but it's really struggling to break out. So you've got these channels in place. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it turn around and sell off again today, but it's also, you could argue it's a bull flag as well. So this is the confirmation we need to wait for, because you could either suggest that oil is going to get a bid at these levels, that it's found support and it could rebalance from these zones, in which case it's a buy opportunity if it holds support and breaks out of this bull flag. That's for US oil. Or it's going to turn around and stay within these channels. It's going to sell off back towards the lower end of the zone, and that will provide a good sell short opportunity. Similar with UK oil as well, Brent crude oil. So you've essentially got this channel. We've broken through a major channel this week, but it's not really closed below it decisively. So again, we could suggest here that either oil is going to come up, retest overhead resistance, roll over and sell back down within this trend channel, offering a sell short, or it's going to pick up momentum and it's going to get a bid over the course of the US session this afternoon, and we're going to break out more significantly. Okay, so that's really what I'm looking at the moment for the potential move here for oil. So we could see a more significant breakout in either direction, and just waiting really on confirmation. We've got the Baker Hughes oil rig count, which is due to come out a little bit later on in the session today, which is at 4:30 London time. So I'll be watching out for that as well to see what sort of impact that does have on oil. Excuse me, not 4, it's 6 o'clock London time. Excuse me, the Baker Hughes oil rig count is coming up later on today. But at the moment, oil's just really been range bound all this week. It's just been moving within quite a tight range here, but a breakout in either direction would likely lead to a trading opportunity. Also, as I mentioned at the start of the session, I would certainly have US equities on the radar today. So in that sense, what I mean is the S&P 500 has come back down towards the lower end of this channel. It's short-term oversold. It's not to say it can't go lower, but it looks like we're in the cusp of a new trend. If you look at the weekly chart, we're now signaling a sell on the weekly as well, and also the monthly is starting to look quite bearish now over the month of August. We haven't seen such a significant move like this since May. So I've got that on the radar. I'd rather short it for a fresh position here from a higher price, but if it really starts to give way today, I might consider a momentum trade on binary for the price to close lower. Moving over also to the DAX here, so we're seeing some potential weakness here on the DAX, which may follow through if we break below the weekly pivot and break below the daily lows today. Keeping an eye on that as well. The NASDAQ as well was given a sell signal, but most of that move occurred yesterday. Also, the FTSE is looking quite weak, and also the Dow Jones. So across the board, US equities are looking weak right now. The US session will open in about 3 minutes or so, and we'll be monitoring that to see if we do start to see some additional momentum to the downside or whether we see retracements or not. So we've got our eye on equities this afternoon as well. So in terms of the major trade ideas that I would look at the moment, so gold has had a pop here, and I'm looking for the potential for a revisit up to the 1300s. A lot of the movement has occurred in the early part of the London session already here. So US dollar Japanese yen has broken down back below the 109 level. US dollar index looking weak at the moment. The S&P 500 could give it a potential short opportunity today if it breaks below yesterday's low. Gold here, momentum is on the side of the bulls right now. It just clipped above 1300. Japanese yen futures looking quite strong here at the moment as well. Also have silver on the radar here. So silver on higher time frames is really starting to make some significant gains at the moment. So I would also watch out for silver. And of course, momentum trading wise, I would have a look at some of the commodity currencies. Particularly what I like right now for the potential of more momentum to the downside is US dollar CAD. So if you look at that on a lower time frame, for example, 30-minute time frame here, it might retrace a little bit, but on the next move lower, we could see another breakdown back below the 1.257 level. Take that for a sell short on lower time frames. Australian dollar, if we continue to see dollar weakness and gold break out, we could see momentum trade on Australian dollar as well. That might be worth taking advantage of on lower time frames. And then oil as well, looking for a resolution of the current trend as to whether we'll get a breakout to the upside or the downside this afternoon, which might trigger off the back of the Baker Hughes oil rig count as well. Okay, good. So with that, I will just take you back over to, let's go back to gold again here. So gold, yeah, I mean, gold's breached 1300s, and the daily high at the moment, $1,300.85. So we'll see if we get a little bit more follow through during the US session today, and we'll continue to track all of these markets. Okay, fantastic. And now, of course, if you would like to be kept updated at the Gold and Silver Club of our daily trade ideas and our positioning during the week, and you'd also like to join us for the live trading rooms and get access to all of our resources at the Gold and Silver Club. So if you'd like access to our trade ideas and analysis shared directly with you real time, you can do so. I'll just put the link here in the chat for everybody as well. Okay, so it's www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Who's it for? Who would that work for? Well, whether you're a new trader or even an experienced trader, but you just really want to take your trading to that next level, you want to understand the commodity markets and take advantage of the opportunities essentially in these markets, to join us at the Gold and Silver Club and become a private member of the live trading room. All you need to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com to make an application. As a member of the Gold and Silver Club, you get access to our live trading rooms. So you get exclusive access to our live trading room webinars, where you can watch the Gold and Silver Club expert traders analyze the markets right in front of you, pick out the best trades, as well as walk you through each trade idea step by step, ready to implement. You also get access to real-time trade alerts by email and SMS, so you're not missing out on opportunities, buy and sell trade alerts in real time, so you can take advantage of the exact entries that we are utilizing. And you get access to our trading research and our market insights. You get exclusive access to our proprietary trading research to help you make smarter, well-informed trading decisions, and our unique insights and analysis are there to make sure you're well equipped with the most accurate technical and fundamental information you need to identify market trends early, predict future price movements, and act on every trading decision with confidence. So again, the private members live trading room includes the following: exclusive access to our private members live trading room webinars, live trade ideas shared with you, ready to implement for instant results, real-time trade alerts via email and SMS so you don't miss out on profitable trades, details of where to enter, exit each trade, access to our private members live trading room, ongoing support and mentoring to help you achieve long-term success, and exclusive access to our proprietary trading research to give you the ultimate edge in the market. So guys, to get access to that and make an application, I've put the link in the chat there, and it's the link on the screen, www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com. Okay, fantastic. So with that, guys, I wish you a fantastic day. Good trading. All the best, guys. We'll definitely catch you here on the next one, and look forward to hear from those of you who will be joining us at the Gold and Silver Club, and we'll speak to you all on the next session, guys. Okay, so yeah, all the best, guys, and we'll speak to you real soon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Reese. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.